November 2013. I am your host, Roger Knowles, and you're back once again for episode 8. I am joined by Tom Simpson.
Hello.
And Daniel Twist.
Hi there.
So I haven't really spoken to you guys since the you weren't at the previous podcast. You were
I
over at university.
I went into previous because I've been moved to university and that, so I had to give them time.
Has it affected your gaming time doing the move? And
At the moment, it has affected my gaming time. So I'm trying to get back into gaming at the moment, but bits at a time.
How are you finding your internet connection? Is it over there?
Don't even get me started at the moment, because the internet provider that is used is by a student, but with who we rent the flat from, they kind of bottlenecked our connection. So I've got to pay for a better internet connection. So I'll be looking at doing that shortly.
Oh, right. So have they put a capped it so you're not unlimited? Or...
No, they've capped it to a very low 3.7 meg download and a 0.2 upload.
That's about the same speed as mine. That's faster than mine.
It's appalling, so hopefully I can get better internet just by paying a little bit extra.
So yours is at least double that.
It meant to be.
But no, I will hopefully if I get better internet connection, I will be back into gaming any time in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, well, yes. I could admit, I didn't think I've seen you much on Steam popping up here and there, really.
I've only been on the odd times on a night, so obviously through uni. With uni starting now and that, being very busy.
Go on and tell me what you've been up to this last couple of weeks.
I'm tired.
You said that last time.
I
know you can remember what you'd been up to.
I'm surprised if he remembers what he's actually done today.
It's always a good sign. I've been working again.
You're working again?
Yeah. I went for a meal.
Oh yeah.
It was rubbish.
Okay. Your optimism is always so. How about you said earlier you're high on life?
No, that was cocaine.
Okay.
Yeah.
No gaming, no gaming around.
Yeah, I did some gaming. Yeah.
What games have you been playing?
Armour.
You've actually you pretend you don't do anything. You created the Armour 3 map.
I made a map last week.
Yeah.
And I reached 2,000 downloads about an hour ago.
Nice. Because you've remodded it, haven't you? Because you said it was unbeatable. Now you had to change it so that it's beatable.
Every time I update it, the devs bring out an update for Armour 3, which makes it so my tyres explode when you land.
I have to keep tweaking it to go alongside the
It finally works, but they've had another gigabyte update today, and I don't know what that's done. So we'll have to see.
But what's the map called again?
I didn't really know what to call it, so I just put Skytrack 3000.
I thought that's it. I think it sounded pretty good, especially with the picture that you put up of it as well, because it does like stand out on the. You can actually try the map on Steam Workshop. Can you just literally subscribe to it and it'll install it onto your game pretty much. I've obviously seen you building it up steadily as it's gone along, and actually I tried it the other night and I couldn't get hardly along it because I kept on falling off. But I could actually see in the distance how much more of the track you created in mid-air. I was dying to get over to it, but I just couldn't get to it.
I've been tweaking it, and the latest version, there's some more routes. I've fixed the spawns and stuff. And
it is clever. I've got to admit, I'm very impressed with what you've done. It's quite entertaining. All I want is the Mario Kart Rainbow music to play, Rainbow Track music playing over the top.
That'd be quite cool, actually. if you can get that, you should, and you manage to learn the track, you should totally do a video on that.
That'd be good fun.
That'd be brilliant.
I might make a jukebox, so there'll be like a table with like a laptop on it. You go up to it and select which song you want to play.
That'd be quite cool.
12 songs.
I'm really seriously. It's not a map or anything what I've seen before on Armour 3. It's very unique just by the look of it.
Well, what's the most retarded thing you can do on a military sim?
I don't want to say because it probably shouldn't be listened to.
Oh well. I guess in a floating racetrack's probably one of them, isn't it?
Yeah, but floating racetracks is nothing new. Come on, take Halo. You had it in Halo, floating racetracks.
Yeah, but for Armour 3 for a military simulator.
Yeah, for a military simulator, yes, it's kind of bizarre.
It's a lot bigger than Halo.
I've heard obviously there's a lot of problems that you went through by creating it and the coding and everything like that. But it got to me. It's good. It is very, very good. I was quite impressed with it. Gives my stamp of approval.
Thank you.
And 2,000 other people seem to be quite impressed as well. So, that's good. Myself, I had a week off pretty much of gaming. I didn't really do anything. My girlfriend was going back to university, so can't spend as much time with her as I could before she went back. So AlwayzGamezTV got a bit of a hit for that. But other than that, then GTA came out. I got it on the first day of release, and been trying to play some of it, but unfortunately, like I say, she was around, so I tried to sneakily get on a couple of hours every night, trying to have a bash on it. And then State of Decay got released on early access on Steam, and I've been really looking forward to that because it came out on the Xbox Live, and I've been waiting for it to come across to PC. And I purchased that. I got it for it was $14.99 on the Steam, but I sold some of those trading cards thingies, and I think I had £2, so that deducted to make it a bit more affordable. So yeah, no, I've been playing on that, and I got to that's good fun. Even though it's not meant to be early access and there isn't as much to do in it as the Xbox 360 version, it's quite good fun. It's like DayZ, but without the multiplayer.
Alright.
And base building, which is quite cool.
I was going to ask them what was it about, what was it like, but then you just kind of given it a quick rundown.
Imagine, you've seen the Walking Dead TV series?
Partially.
Imagine that / DayZ. It's like that. Well, basically the reason why it's like DayZ's got zombies in it, but it's like a survival aspect, but not a survival horror. I won't call it really, because it's not very. It's scary, but in the case that something might creep up on you behind you.
Because you've done a video on that, haven't you?
Yes, I did an hour first impression video of it, which went for a lot longer. I was only planning to do about 20 minutes, but I actually just totally lost track of how long it was going on for, which is a good sign of a good game anyway. I have done a couple more videos which will be going up this week. But no, it's a good game. I was actually looking forward to playing it the next day, so that's a good sign for it. But I do love my zombie games, so, especially survival ones.
It looks a lot more detailed, and the graphics look a lot better than DayZ.
Yeah, well, yeah, it has a different sort of style of art. To me, the art style's a little bit different. I guess it's not really realistic. It's hard to describe it. You can tell it's a computer game. It's not going for photorealistic footage or anything like that, but it's good. No, I got to admit, I was very impressed with it, and I'm glad I picked it up so cheap. Really, in all honesty, I would have happily paid £25 for it. So I only get it for like 12 or 13 quid. I'm
not bad then.
Pretty chuffed with it.
Because I'll have to check out the video that you've done now.
Yeah,
on the YouTube channel.
I say it did end up being a bit longer than I was hoping it to be. I was like, would anybody really want to sit through all this time? Well, this is my first impressions of it anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, anybody got anything else to add?
No.
No, cool. Let's crack on with the news then. Well, first up in the news, Sony came out and gave a bit of a bit more of a detailed description on their plan for upgrading your PS3 games up to the PlayStation 4 games. They released a video giving a bit of a description to it and a bit of a plan out for it. And if you purchase the game on the PlayStation 3, either in disc form or in digital form, thank you, you can easily upgrade it to PlayStation 4 by, it's almost like it's a form of a DLC for the PlayStation 4 then. You will then pay around about a tenner, depending on the game, to upgrade it up to the PlayStation 4. The games which have been confirmed to have it at this present moment is Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag, Call of Duty Ghosts, Watch Dogs, NBA 2K14 and Battlefield 4. There will be other companies coming into it which will make the actual selection of games much larger, but at the present moment they're the only ones which are confirmed. The only other game which actually will cost more is NBA 2K14, which will cost $11.99, where all the others will cost $9.99. That's in pounds. So yeah, it was. But the only thing that they did actually have to confirm was that everybody was a bit confused about the disc format. That with the digital where if you purchase it, it's already on your hard drive, and that just automatically gets upgraded to the PlayStation 4 version. However, everybody was wondering how would the PlayStation 3 disc work. So the idea is that literally you have to keep hold of your PlayStation 3 disc if you wish to play the PlayStation 4 version. You will empty your disc into the PlayStation 4 console, and it will then play the PlayStation 4 version. You would not be able to trade in your PlayStation 3 version. But that's about it, really. I still need to look into Xbox's version of this?
I haven't heard anything on Microsoft yet for their form of like upgrading, or if they are actually considering it.
I think they are considering it. They just haven't released much of it, of the details on that at present moment. They seem to be a bit vague about it. But as far as I know, they are going to do a version of their own of this sort of way of transitioning from PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4 sort of thing. Do you think it's a good idea doing this?
Well, it seems like a good idea. Like, so obviously, they're releasing like games that are coming out on PS4. They're releasing like a PS3 version of it. So then people who want to get it on PS4, they'd have to go out and re-buy the game again. So they just have to pay a discounted price to play it on the PS4.
Well, I've got to admit, it seems like the transition from the old console, well, now the present generation consoles to the next gen, it's like as if the companies are preparing that the transition is going to be a lot slower than previous generation jumps. Whereas like with the PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3, I think everybody could see such a massive graphics jump that everybody was dying to get hold of the next console, you know, from the Xbox, original Xbox to Xbox 360, everybody literally jumped at it, plus it was a reasonable price. But this time round, it seems that the price is maybe a little bit higher, and everybody's not really seeing the difference as much, and are a little bit more wary, and I think the companies must realise that.
I mean, my dad was asking a good question today, because he plays his Xbox quite a bit. Say after a couple of years, when these new consoles have been out, he was wondering, you know, are they still going to be making games for the 360 and PlayStation 3?
I think probably, going what happened with the PlayStation 2, they kept making PlayStation 2 games and original Xbox. Should I say. I'd always want to call it Xbox One, but that's obviously the next Xbox, so it's like the original Xbox. Yeah. They kept making games for them for about a year to 2 years afterwards. Now, whether or not that time span will extend due to this being a slower transition, again, it might be a quick transition, we don't know, it's just a guess, but I think everybody's feeling it's going to be a slower transition, so they probably will create games for the PS3 for a lot longer than they did previously. And I think it's going to be a wiser thing, and probably do this plan where they're going to upgrade the games, probably extend that out a little bit longer as well. Will help the transition across. It's just, I think it's because I think it's going to be money basically for a lot of people. You have to be aware that people don't have a huge amount of money, and plus games are getting more expensive.
Yeah, well,
consoles are getting more expensive.
Games are now reaching in next gen. What, about £45 to £55 now? Games are reaching.
Recommended retail prices around about 45 to 50 quid in price. So it's not cheap. And like, let's look at the run up. We'll go into more detail later on. But like, for example, we've got the Call of Duty Ghosts, Battlefield 4, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Well, all of these actually, which are pretty much listed, are going to be the A-list titles. And FIFA 14, for example. People, you can't expect everybody to buy all those games one after the other. They just don't have enough money to be able to do that. So you've got to be aware that and not only that, but like I say, the consoles are coming out. So you've got to understand that they don't have a huge amount of money to be able to spend. So yeah, I think it's a good idea, and I think the longevity of the PS3 is going to be going for a lot longer than we probably think. It won't be a straight switch. I think it's going to take about 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So
anyway, on to the next one. So next up on the news, it's been holding, well, all news headlines for the last week is Grand Theft Auto 5. It's just kind of smashed all records out of existence. Within the first 3 days, they hit the £1 billion mark in profit. So yeah, that's a lot.
And gee, I wonder if I'll make another one.
I don't know. I think they might stop at this. I think no, we're done.
we've made our £1 billion profit off one game. That's it.
Retire happily.
What I think's really, really stupid is that's like, it's not enough because they're adding microtransactions. I mean, $1 billion in 3 days, and they're just saying no, we want more. Yeah.
So with the Grand Theft Auto Online, I think it's launched. I think it's next Tuesday. They did say it was going to be 2 weeks after the launch of the GTA 5. Online will be coming, and then since then we've heard that they're probably going to be doing microtransactions with the online version.
So greedy of them.
Well, it's
They're
how
getting
all,
so much
it's
money.
like all games now. They're going to be integrating microtransactions to everything now.
Mhm.
So, no matter what it is, I think even games on Xbox, on new Xbox One, are going to be doing it as well.
Yeah, I think it's certainly some. I think with all like MMOs going free to play and microtransaction being such a big thing now, like you say, I think within the consoles, it's going to start coming in, especially with the next gen. You're going to be seeing a lot more of it. But I guess technically DLCs, that's
That's-
purchasing.
you
It's not
kinda
microtransaction, but it's still
But it's
purchasing online.
still kind of classed as a microtransaction a bit.
I saw what they actually what they blah blah blah. I've seen what the microtransactions are, and there's like free cash cards you can get with different amounts of money. All you're doing is buying money, in-game money.
Oh, is that all? Well, I thought it'd be more cosmetics and stuff like that.
It's in-game money, and I saw on a Machinima YouTube program, or whatever it is, that if you're a multiplayer, other multiplayer people can, if you put your money into an ATM, other players can steal it from you. So they're saying, what if you like spend, I don't know, like 30 quid on in-game money, and then someone nicks it all? It's like stealing real
If
life
it was
money.
me who was stealing it, I'd laugh.
If it's like stealing real life money, and they said they probably won't be able to do that.
No, true. Yeah, that would be. It would.
Because you can steal.
It starts opening situations and problems that you probably don't want to creep into.
Yeah.
You technically are stealing someone else's money.
Yeah, so it'd be good to see how they handle that.
Yeah, that could be interesting. I want to see how the gangs situation works out in Grand Theft Auto 5.
What's the multiplayer? How many people?
I think it's 16. It's not a huge
Right.
thing. And I'm putting that down to mainly because, well, they said it's due to content and everything like that, and they don't want it to become over the top and servers. But I just think it's the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 can't handle anything more than that.
No,
Especially with the size of the island and everything that's going on around it.
Interestingly about that, some of the first Xboxes that were released, Xbox 360s, apparently people that have GTA 5 on those consoles, it's been crashing on them because it can't handle it.
Yes, it's actually just leading on to the next story was that basically that if you installed the installation disc and then you would have your second disc on the Xbox 360 and that would be your play disc. Well, obviously with the Xbox 360 you can install both discs and not have to use the disc at all. However, doing that caused the drives to the whole game to crash or to run at a lower resolution or rendering. And I think the main problems were cropping up was on the first generation Xbox 360s with some much smaller hard drives and everything like that, whereas the Xbox Slims were running okay. But it's been the same problem on the PlayStation side as well. They have been having issues mainly with the downloadable version, the digital version from the PSN network. If you bought it online and downloaded it, for some reason the rendering wasn't quite right, or the actual game wouldn't even install properly. And all I can again really put it down to is that the present generations are constantly struggling, and Rockstar have literally sapped pretty much everything what was left of the consoles, and it sounded like it was using, especially with the loading and running of the game, it's using part of the disc and plus part of the hard drive, and you can't. The consoles can't rely fully on just on the hard drive version.
Yeah. I reckon that the PS4 and Xbox One version will be a lot better. I reckon they'll probably maybe have 24 players, maybe.
Hopefully. Well, it's not actually going to come out for the next generation, GTA 5.
Yeah,
It's only going to be present generation consoles.
They will bring it out for next gen.
Apparently, I don't think they are. As far as I know, they're not going to bother.
I mean, I swear, because on Machinima, they said they are making it for the next gen consoles, and they're going to use that architecture for the PC version as well.
Right. I'll have to have a look into that.
I'm pretty sure they said that on Machinima.
As far as I know, I thought Rockstar had said that they weren't going to bother, but I could be wrong. I will look into that for next week.
Because I agreed with you as well, Roger. I didn't think they would bring that out next gen either.
Well,
Now the PC version, I've heard that they are possibly going to be bringing it. There's no confirmed. Yeah, nothing's been confirmed as of yet though by Rockstar. They've been putting. Well, we've mentioned in the previous podcast. They've been saying that they've been trying to put out job postings for converting games over to PC, so looking for coders and everything like that. But
there has been some slips by like Nvidia people as well.
has there?
Like I think someone that was from Nvidia slipped about saying something about GTA. I can't remember what, but they definitely said something about it.
Oh,
PC
right.
version.
Well, I guess it's more of a, it's going to be something to watch out. I'll look into that PlayStation 4 and Xbox One version. I'll have a little hunt around on the internet for that. What else have we got? Oh yeah, other than that, they've also GTA 5 passed the 15 million units mark just the other day, and they're probably going to, well, they may sell 25 million in the first year. So that's a lot of GTA.
That's crazy. Someone, I've heard a couple of people got stabbed and got mugged for
Yeah.
the GTA 5 copies.
Yeah, actually, it was my girlfriend's stepdad brought this up as soon as I saw him. It was like, oh, did you know that, you know, two people, or someone got stabbed after being queuing up outside on the date of the launch and got mugged for the game. And a lot of newspapers have jumped on that and reported on that. However, I don't think they didn't report on that in America, the same situation where the two lads had been queuing up, that on the way home there was a house fire and they actually helped someone out of the house fire on their way home from purchasing the game. So, my idea is that, well, it's amazing how they always report on the negative but never report on the positive.
Well, I was going to say, there's never any good news, is there, anymore?
It seems to be very much like that at the moment. Again, I read another story that it was someone, I can't remember which newspaper it was, but someone had gone around and unfortunately killed some people, and they blamed it on violent video games.
Yeah, I
Call of
heard
Duty.
about that. We're blaming youth violence on video games, which has always been an issue.
It's been an issue which has been around for a long time, and I find it, in all honesty, it's a scapegoat for a lot of situations.
Do you remember when Carmageddon first came out?
Oh yeah.
Of all the gore and stuff. It's really old now, but
I don't know that one.
it's where you just go around running pedestrians over for points.
Oh!
It's
Oh, okay. No, I don't know that one.
yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, I think, in all honesty, it's certain video games. Well, I look at it as like films can be just as bad. Like when the Saws came out, the Saw films originally. Yeah, they were bad and everything like that. But then we've had versions like that from the in video game aspect of it. Yeah, everybody focuses more on the video games, and it's just, I find a lot of people use it as a scapegoat where if someone snaps mentally and does something stupid, then they've had a mental problem. Maybe video games didn't help, but I don't think they're the sole cause for the situation. If someone's having mental problems, they're having mental problems, and that needs to be addressed rather than blaming an industry. But that's my personal opinion. I'm a gamer, so I'm going to be naturally biased to the situation. I've played video games all my life, and I haven't snapped yet.
It's not like you're there playing. Just say take GTA 5. You're not there in a car running down pedestrians. You're not then all of a sudden, oh, I've got the urge. I'm gonna go jump in my own car and go start running people over.
Exactly. It's like I like to think I'm a level-headed person and whose sanity is relatively okay most of the time, and I just think I just find people use it as a scapegoat and they use it for an excuse. The reason why is this because of this. Well, why don't we look at the real problem? What maybe was something wrong with that person, and why wasn't that picked up beforehand, and things like that. And I just find it's an excuse. I don't know if anybody else agrees with me, but that's my personal opinion. Have you guys got any opinions on it? Violence within video games, and is it a cause of problems?
It's always been an issue, as you said. I have done research on it beforehand and actually had other students last year in university actually pick up on violence in video games, but it's one of these topics which you can't verify. Yes, people always say, oh, it was due to playing this game. It's like, yeah, and you're really going to justify that as your problem for doing this? So you can't, people will say it, but you can't justify it.
Yeah, I got to. It seems to be also. Maybe it's me just being biased again. I'm very, very biased in this situation. So I think it's very sad when something like this happens. I'll never deny that, and it's sad to hear, and you never want to be reading about things like that. But I think the focus can quite often put it in the wrong place, and I think the focus needs to be maybe looked at in a different way, and pointed in a different direction. Because I just think it's a very sad way of using an excuse for a very sad situation. But hey ho, I guess we're going to be able to change it. But within about 10 years' time, something else will be used as a scapegoat. Like it used to be films. It did used to be films before video games. Before films, it was books. and quite often books are still used as an excuse. But it's again, it'll always keep evolving on and on and on. Anyway, enough of that. But also, it's been a bit of an uproar by fans for GTA. There was a review from GameSpot, and they did a review on it, and they gave it a 9 out of 10, where a lot of other review websites had given it a 10 out of 10. Now, again, it was picking it up, I think. I was a bit shocked and appalled by this as well, is the reaction from gamers generally towards the person who reviewed it, should I say. And she said that it had that it betrayed women in a bad light. It never gave. There was no interesting character for the female. They're either one strippers, or hookers, or utterly nutcase feminists. Now, I can actually understand where she was coming from. Yeah, I got to admit, I played the game for about 6 hours now, and what she says, I do understand. It's not actually the reason why I would have given it a 9 out of 10. In my honest opinion, I would have given it a 9 out of 10 because my expectations were a lot higher than what the game has provided for me. And I think that's not what she said, give it a 9 out of 10. These are the reasons why I would give it a 9
It's
out of 10.
what she's picking out what they're idolising women to be.
Yeah.
They're not idolising them as they are,
And I
but
think a lot
what
of
they
people
think they are.
reacted badly to that because they were expecting, well, it's at GTA, what do you expect and stuff like that. But in all honesty, I personally think that GTA has toned down some of its abusive content from previous games, mainly because it has to focus on more story, more character driven, and be more humorous in some sort of aspects. So I think some of the content has been turned down just a little bit. But it was more my shock was at the reaction of the people posting, because they were saying that they were actually started a petition to try and get the reviewer fired from GameSpot, which I think is disgusting.
It is.
Again, I feel like I'm rambling on a little bit here, but in my honest opinion, when it comes to reviews, if you're going to read a review and you're going to watch or listen to a review, you have to expect that you might not agree with what the reviewer says.
Respect their views on the game.
Exactly. Because
everyone's entitled to their own opinion of a game.
Exactly. And I think the reaction towards this reviewer was wrong, and it's kind of embarrassing as a gamer, because unfortunately a lot of people do get put into the same sort of category. And I think if you don't like a review on something, just fair enough. You can say that you don't like it, but don't become abusive towards the person. Don't start sending horrible hate mail to them, because it's their job. They review stuff. If you don't like it, just say, I don't agree with it, then move on. You know, you don't have to agree with everybody. And no, not everybody has to have the same opinion as you. Otherwise, everything would be dull.
Yeah, it would be.
Anyway,
it's not like she was a critic. She's not criticising the game. She's reviewing of what she
thought
of
it.
Thought of it, yeah. Not being a critic against it.
But we'll go into more of this a little bit later on. But anyway, should we crack on with the top 10 UK charts? So, giving you a rundown of the top 10 UK charts. At number 10 is Kingdom of Hearts HD 1.5 Remix. That's not a mouthful. At number 9, Aliens Colonial Marines is back. At number 8 is Disney Infinity. At number 7 is Diablo 3. At number 6 is Minecraft Xbox 360 Edition. At number 5 is Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist. At number 4 is Saints Row 4. At number 3 is Last of Us, and at number 2 is Pro Evolution Soccer 2014, and at number 1 is no so big surprise is Grand Theft Auto 5. I can't believe Alien Colonial Marines is back in the top 10 charts.
Why is that back?
There must have been a sale somewhere. I still haven't played it. Tom, you've got it.
I had it.
Is it worth to be put back in the top 10 chart?
It's not a terrible game. And they did put some patches out to try and fix most of the bugs, but
no, yeah,
it wasn't very interesting. Like, it was alright.
I got to. I need to have a look at why it's back in the top 10 chart. It must have been on sale somewhere. Like, it must have been.
Spoiler alert: they brought back one of the characters from the movies that they shouldn't have brought back. He should be dead.
Isn't that the commander?
I've forgotten his name.
Yeah, no, that was in the trailer. That's not spoiled. That's not spoiled because it wasn't in one of the trailers for the game. He has a patch over when I got injured. Is that him? No.
I can't remember.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking anyway from the Aliens. I'm thinking it's the guy who I always forget the actor.
He's got a really deep American accent.
He was from Terminator 1 movie.
Was he?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think I know which one you mean. We were saying, just in case it is a spoiler, but I do remember someone from a previous film was in the trailer of the game.
Anyway, they brought him back, and yeah, he should be dead.
Yeah. Okay. But other than that, I would say I think FIFA 14 got released. It was going to be released in the next couple of days. Has it been released now?
No, it's not released yet.
But it's on its way.
It's on its way. Yes.
Oh wait, I swear it is released today, wasn't it?
Is it?
I'll have to double check that because I've got it on my list.
I know it's released this week, but I don't know if it's been released yet.
No, Arnie was selling it at Fusion.
Yeah, but yeah, it's the release date 27th though.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I've got it on my notes as the 27th of September.
So
but I think some people may have got it already.
Because
I mean, Arnie wasn't selling it because that would be illegal.
Yeah.
It's a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday release.
We think somebody's got it somewhere.
You don't see Wednesday releases. It's Friday release or Monday release.
But seems that we're coming up to the end of September. We'll have a look down at the October releases. We've got F1 2013 jumps out at me. Just Dance 2014 as well is coming out at the beginning of October. NBA 2K14. Beyond Two Souls, which I still need to have a good look into actually on the October. That's the same people who made Heavy Rain. PlayStation.
Right. Not bad. I have to check that.
It's I forgot the name now. The girl who plays Juno in the film Juno.
Oh,
the
Beck.
Yeah, that's not her, but
yeah, I know you're on about.
She's
Ellen Page.
Ellen Page. She's done the she's put a face to it and everything like that. She's done all the motion capture for the character and stuff like that. And then we've got Pokemon X and Pokemon Y coming out on the 12th of October. And by then we'll have already done another podcast and we'll do a reading down of the rest of the releases coming up. But it's the flow of games is slowly increasing more and more until we get to Christmas, which means my time is going to be taken up even more.
Battlefield 4 beta is out on Tuesday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that being that's confirmed? Is it?
October 1st.
Yeah.
Nice.
I remember someone else saying that to me.
I'll be definitely getting onto that.
You won't be seeing me for a while again then.
You probably won't hear from me much.
But yeah, that's pretty much on the future game releases. So, but I want to finish up giving my opinion on GTA, my full opinion. So if this is the end of the podcast now and you've finished listening, you don't want to listen to any more GTA, thank you very much for listening, but we're now going to talk for about 5 or 10 minutes on what GTA and what we think to it. Now Tom, you haven't played GTA, have you? No. I won't give you any spoilers or anything like that. Same for you.
I've played a little bit, but I don't know whereabouts in the story it was.
I'm done about 25% of the game, and I've played it about 6 hours. The reason before when I said it was, I agree with being a 9 out of 10. It's not a perfect game, mainly because what I was expecting was possibly what could have been provided if it came out on the PlayStation 4. Now, the graphics are way better than the Grand Theft Auto 4. Maybe what I was expecting was a lot more accessible buildings. Now, there seem to be a lot more buildings which have fire escapes and you're able to access the roofs and stuff like that. But you can't really get into many interiors to buildings. And that was maybe what I was expecting a lot more of. The other thing I was kind of hoping, well, not really hoping, it was just something I expected and didn't really think about it until it wasn't there, was more interaction with random NPCs. And maybe it's because I've been playing a lot more RPGs and MMOs and everything like that. Maybe I've been expecting to just walk up to someone and choose a selection of responses to a question. I was expecting maybe something like that in GTA, that you could actually bump into someone and go, oh, hi. You can actually say it by clicking the right D-pad. You can say, hey, how you doing? And someone will go, hi. And you press it again and nothing happens. And then you'll press it again and then so you'll then say something. And then the random person will be like, F you, and run off. I'm calling the cops. And you've only said hi, or so what you up to, and then next minute they're screaming and running away from you. So maybe I was expecting maybe a bit more with that. Maybe I'm asking for a lot from what the game could provide, because they have crammed a lot of data onto the disc and what the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 can do. But maybe my expectations were so high now, especially with the next generation just around the corner, that's why I think it just falls a little bit short for me. Now, it's the best in the series so far by a long way. I love the 3 characters. I love the switch between the 3. The changing of clothing, back to what San Andreas was about. change of hairstyle. You can have a beard instantly. You can have tattoos. You've got car customizations. You can enhance your engine in your car. I found a Mini. I drive a Mini. I was like, found a Mini. I spray painted it. I've souped it up. It's brilliant. So it has a lot of things, a lot of content, a lot of story, great voiceover, great humour. It's good fun. But I just think in certain aspects it falls a little bit short. And possibly that maybe that one extra score may come with the online version. But you played it, so you played a little bit of it then?
Yeah, I didn't play a great deal of it. It's like I probably mentioned earlier, it's like I said, being back at uni, last week we had Freshers' Fair at university, and our video game society had GTA 5 up for freshers to try out on that. So I decided to go by and try it out, but I tried it for about 10 minutes possibly, but the gameplay to me, it felt not like GTA, like I'm used to. So it's like, yeah, they've added in like a cover system, but I don't necessarily playing GTA, a cover system. I'm not used to that. I'm used to like just running around, just gunning people down, and that. But adding the cover system, yeah, if I played it probably a bit longer, I may get into playing it. But so far, I'm not impressed with the gameplay. But even though with the short time playing, I'd give it only. I won't give it as high as Roger says as a 9. I'd give it at the moment like a 7 or 8 with not having too much playtime on it.
Yeah, I guess that's quite hard. It's quite hard to give a full judgment on it with such a short amount of playtime. Admittedly, it's been the first time in a GTA game that I've had a longer time to get used to the controls. It's taken a lot, and even now, I'll try and do something. I'll end up pressing eject from the car. I was driving along, and I think I was going to aim a gun or something like that, and I ended up pressing triangle by accident for a random reason. The character ended up jumping out, rolling underneath the wheel of a lorry and getting killed instantly, which would like restart your mission. It's like bollocks. But it's I've got to admit, it's the first time it's taken me a long time to adjust to the control system of the game. Whereas with every other GTA, I've just jumped in. Within about 5 minutes, you've got it. It's pretty simple. With this one, depending on what you do or what you're doing at that moment in time, the whole of your control systems change. So you might expect X to do one thing, it does something entirely different in something else situation. But you might expect that with maybe 3 or 4 of your buttons, but it does it with the whole control scheme. That I've taken a little while to get used to. Even after 6 hours, I still mess it up and like jump it randomly. We'll be running along. Also, again, one of the things with GTA 4 was that if you ran and jumped at a wall, you would pretty instantly jump, clear it sort of thing, or you would just sort of do a jump in midair and sort of slide up against the wall. You wouldn't really anything would happen. With Grand Theft Auto 5, if you misjump something, you'll trip over it, or you'll slam headfirst into the wall and end up on your backside. So I do like elements of that, but it also brings across the element of messing something up quite drastically. And I ended up like jumping out of a doorway and didn't realise there was a set of stairs just on the other side of the doorway, and ended up doing cartwheels down the steps and ended up a pile at the bottom of the steps with a helicopter hovering over the top of me. So it does create good and funny circumstances, but it's tricky.
I say might be something I may have to get and try out more. So I'd say 10 minutes of gameplay. I haven't really got to justify against for if it's good or bad. So I may get it on the Xbox 360, but I may wait for the PC release.
I can understand, and also maybe we've all started getting a bit more critical of games, and our opinions and expectations have increased. And we probably just expect more now. Whereas when, like, for example, Grand Theft Auto 3 came out, that was the first 3D environment for Grand Theft Auto, so that just blew everybody away. When Vice City came out, that was when the introduction of voices, and a bit like a Scarface sort of looking game, and then that went from that to San Andreas, and The Expanse was humongous.
It was.
And then it went to number 4, which I think fell short for me as well, in my personal opinion. I didn't enjoy number 4.
I didn't particularly enjoy it either.
And because now number 5's come out, it's so much better than all of them, but our expectations have been so massive that it's falling short maybe of our expectations. It's not a bad game. It's the best one in the series. However, it's going to struggle, I think, to impress everybody. And yeah, I love it and I will play it and I can't wait for the online version. But maybe I was just being a bit too critical with it and just expecting a lot more than what it could provide.
I think that's the same with me. Expecting like not, I wouldn't say high expectation as you, but I was expecting quite a bit. But for when I tried it, it was like this is not like it's not what I'm expecting. It's just fallen completely from what I'm thinking of the game would be.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But sorry, Sam, you can't really provide much to this conversation because I haven't played it. But is there any games actually in this next month or two that you're actually looking forward to the most?
I have one game.
Go on.
If you can guess it, I'd be surprised.
Well, it's not let them do with League of Legends, is it?
No. Pokemon X and Pokemon Y.
Oh no, that's fair enough. I don't have a DS 3DS, so I can't play them.
What's coming out in the next 2 weeks?
I just ran down a minute ago.
We've got FIFA 14.
Well, the only thing I really care about is the Battlefield 4 beta.
Well, we've got over a month yet for that, so it's all right.
But no, I've got to admit it's
But no, for me, like I say, it's Pokemon X and Pokemon Y and 3DS. As a big Pokemon fan,
if I had a 3DS, I would be getting one of them. I've always been a big Pokemon fan. It's one of the actually. That was the game that got used the most on my Game Boy Classic when I was younger. I think I pretty much burned that thing out. But for me, what I'm looking forward to next, I don't honestly know.
You're gonna be looking up Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it, but it's not a game which I'm like dying to get hold of though. I have to admit, there's a lot of big franchise names coming out, but there's nothing now. Now GTA's out is really tickling my fancy. Yeah. I will purchase a few of them.
Probably until the same time as Tom then with Battlefield 4.
Yeah, I think
obviously the beta is out shortly.
I'm actually just excited to get hold of the PlayStation 4. Just to have it there and just be like, ooh. I probably wouldn't have bought any games for it, but I'd be like, ooh.
I'd be there with Xbox. I was like, yes, Xbox One. Just marvel in its appearance.
I did that with the PlayStation 3. I couldn't afford a game for the PlayStation 3 when it first got me. In fact, and I couldn't play any PlayStation 2 games or PlayStation 1 games because I didn't actually have the internet on Wi-Fi at the time. And my router was upstairs, so I couldn't update the PlayStation 3. So the only thing I could do was play music for a week.
Or watch a film.
Or watch a film, yeah. Anyway, guys, that pretty much wraps up our waffling on this episode 8 of the Always Games TV podcast, which pretty much was a GTA special. But if you'd like to follow us on AlwayzGamesTV.com, we'll be updating a bit more of the website and a few more videos which will be going up. So keep checking out that. And also follow us on Twitter, which is AlwayzGamesTV, and same on Facebook. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel as well, AlwayzGamesTV. Tom, I noticed you did a tweet the other week.
That?
Yes.
Tom did a tweet? Wow.
You did a tweet.
I want to hear this.
I think it was. I just remember it popping. Anyway, you can follow Tom at
Outcast Reaver.
Twitter.
Yeah,
just go on Twitter.
You can follow him at Outcast Reaver
with a K. Dan, how can we follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter at DanielT320.
And you do your twitching?
I haven't been doing my Twitch lately with my internet connection, but as soon as I get connection, I'll be back up on Twitch. So you can follow me by looking up me on Twitch, which is the same as my Twitter, which is DanielT320 as well.
And just in case anybody didn't know what Twitch is, it's actually a streaming video game thing. It's like just randomly twitching in the corner.
Yes, we're twitching.
So if you want to watch any of Dan's streams, check out DanielT320 on Twitch. And other than that, thank you very much for joining me, guys.
See you later.
Thank you very much. See ya.
See ya. Basically, within the news, basically.
No, not a good way to start it.
No, basically.
You like that word?
Yeah, I should have like a tally for how many times I use basically and like only use it 10 times, something like that.
You should pay me every time you say it, like £1. I'll be rich.
No. So first up in the news this week is basically a bit of a... Basically, you wank.